Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to Skottie Talk with host myself, Tyler and Dustin, and then our guest, Maureen, for this episode on episode 27 here. How are y'all doing?
Doing great. Maureen,
Good.
I should let you speak
Good.
first.
Oh, that's okay. I'm doing great. This is so exciting.
I
Yeah,
think
we're
this is
happy
the
to have
second
you
week-
on.
This is the second week in a row I've cut off a guest where they were talking to go to the 30-second countdown. So we're going to have it's a bad streak to start.
Yeah, I told all I was saying was I was going to call 911 for Tyler if I needed to. So
All right.
Yeah, we were-
much
Yeah.
appreciated.
we were talking about the eyes
Yep,
rolling back.
The eye
So
rolling as I
That's it.
look up links above on my second monitor.
I will. call
We've got
911.
Ryan here joining us. Welcome, Ryan. Yeah, no, it's great to have you on. As most people have seen by now, your post in the Facebook group, all the great stuff and great pictures you got
Oh, yeah.
from Planet Comic Con. So we're going to be going through that this episode and getting all the good stories as we kind of got last week as well. And always super fun, especially when we can't attend. It's always fun to live vicariously through somebody else. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Maureen, you'll see
Absolutely.
why I put myself on the bottom because when the names come up,
Oh, then they.
you know, I think we
You're
hit
just a
Brett
go.
Dean's face when Brett Dean was on the show with us. Every comment we had, we hit his face and you have to pop up.
You
so,
keep looking over the.
yeah, the home improvement. Yeah.
yeah. Hey,
Oh,
neighbor.
that's awesome.
We got Ryan's joined us so far, and
And
Shane.
Shane, yeah.
All right.
Everyone, glad to have you all with us. And
Hello,
tonight
everyone.
we've got Maureen on to kind of give us the recap of her Planet Comic Con experience, but also I'm excited to hear about the 2017 con where she first met Skottie and
Yes.
just kind of
Oh,
see
yeah.
the different experiences between the two.
Oh,
And we'll discuss-
absolutely.
And we'll discuss legacy numbering just real quick, just to kind of something that was announced last week that we didn't really get to. But Maureen, you're more than welcome to jump in on that. And I wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up before we get to that part of the show. But
Oh yeah.
But
Awesome.
and this is what kicked off the legacy numbering conversation whenever the I Hate Fairyland was not going to be issue 1 or issue 21, but will be issue 41. So we'll
Yep,
talk
as it
about
leads
that a
into
little bit more.
50. The big
Got it.
50.
Oh, got it.
And hey, Daniel.
Daniel there, yeah.
Hi, Daniel.
But without further ado,
Whoa.
special guest Maureen Murphy. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
A round of applause.
So this is from that's so much better. We'll start off with the 2017 experience.
God.
So if you want to kick it off and tell us a little bit about Palm Springs Comic Con.
Okay, yeah, we went to Palm Springs Comic Con. Nice August Comic Con. Really not a very large show, and I had just really started to get into Skottie's art and that kind of thing. So I was excited to find out that Skottie was going to be at this Comic Con, and so went out, and at that point, the line. I'm trying to remember, not very long lines, obviously, definitely not the lines that you see at the Comic Cons for Skottie these days. But he was also doing the sketches. You get to roll the dice for to have a chance to buy a sketch from him. And so we get in line, and I'm so excited. I'm going to roll the dice. And Scott gets, I think he went first and got nothing. And so then I roll, and I'm so excited, and I roll, and I get doubles. So you had to roll doubles in order
Any
to purchase.
doubles? I never got to experience that.
Yeah.
Was it any doubles? Or did it have to be specific?
Any doubles.
Okay. Which doubles did you get? I wonder if you remember.
You remember what doubles I rolled?
That's not important. That's a silly question.
It is a silly question, but
It's just a fun one, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we think maybe double threes, but again,
Oh,
like you said, not. So, of course, then I have to decide what I want him to sketch.
Yes.
Oh, that's
That's always the big thing. So I chose Spider-Gwen, and so at that point, I did have we got a Spider-Gwen blank. And so I actually have there we go. I have my
Oh, I'm so glad you got it.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I have my Spider-Gwen here because then it was the question: do you want Spider-Gwen? Oops, there we go. Spider-Gwen like this, or do I want baby Spider-Gwen?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! All right, now that's another big
question there
of the hour. Did you? So I said no. I didn't want baby Spider-Gwen. So then I asked, can I take a picture of you drawing it and signing it and all of that kind of stuff, and then of course I then had to get a picture with him while I was holding it after the fact. So and that was also the beginning of the print. I think I own every Skottie print now, but that was the beginning. We bought two 11x17 prints at the show, and that was the Venom holding the lollipop with the green background.
That's a good one.
And the Spider-Gwen with the brick building, like her out the window,
like hanging off of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So those were the two that I purchased, and it was just funny because those are also the 11x17s that don't have borders.
Oh. That was before the white border then.
It was before the white border.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome that he even asked, especially of which style to choose.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, that's very rare that I feel like we get to see, or not rare, but now it's rare to see that more old school kind of sketch look. So that's really awesome.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And of course, then I can't remember how to talk, and I can't think of any questions. So, Scott, and I don't know if you can. So we actually had the poster of Stan reading to the kids. So we had Skottie sign that one, but Stan was also supposed to be at that show, and he ended up getting sick that weekend. But the people that were there with him, or were supposed to be there with him, took stuff from the show for people and took it up to LA and had Stan sign it, and then brought it back the next day for people. So,
oh wow, that's awesome.
So we sent the poster with them and had Stan sign the poster as well. So
that's a great one to get signed. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect encapsulation of Stan Lee and Skottie's work. So
yeah, I really like that. That print is pretty cool. So.
Someone had shared a link of the black and white and the regular ones,
in the regular
comics of those graded, and they were like signed by Stan Lee and Skottie, and they were up on eBay, and they're like $4,000 for the set.
Oh yeah, easily.
So to get any of those signed by Stan, it's pretty expensive now. So
yeah,
so
we were a little bummed because we were looking forward to see Stan as well, but that was 2017. He's still health was still not So, but
well, this is just an awesome experience. And real quick, when you said you forgot how to talk, I don't know if I've ever told Tyler this story or not, but for my sister's 18th birthday, we went to a con in Indianapolis. Me and my wife did, and we were walking around getting all the Walking Dead cast to say happy birthday to her. And the very first one, I was nervous. I was like, I didn't know what to ask him, and my wife was making fun of me. She's like, just ask him. Bless her heart, when she forgot how to hit the record button on the phone. It took the guy, Gareth, the one that was the cannibal in the season 4. He, bless his heart, he did it like 6 times because she kept, when he would start talking, she would stop the recording, and he would just
he would do the opposite.
Their timing was off. Yeah.
So, but it happens to the best of us.
I was gonna say I know I've told Dustin this. You were saying you hadn't seen the shows, and I say that just because of Stan Lee. I was lucky enough to meet him at MegaCon back in it was like, I want to say it was like 2013 or 2012 or somewhere around that time. My dad was kind enough, he surprised me with it as a gift, and we were just walking the floor. I already knew I was going to meet him, and it was I think the next day. And security guards are coming toward us, and there's a sea being parted, and before I know it, Stan Lee's walking towards us. And I've never had an out-of-body experience before, but I found myself, my hand was on his shoulder suddenly. I don't remember putting it there. I just remember reaching out and touching his shoulder, and he turned around with the sweetest old man smile and just smiled at me. Then security guard's like, "Yeah, we need to keep moving," and he just like walked away. And I was like, "That was the weirdest thing. I've never had that experience before or after that. You know, I've gotten flustered, but
Yeah.
it was super surreal and odd. But yeah, it was super cool. So I'm sad that you weren't able to, like you said, unfortunately, you know, with his declining health, it's tough at those later cons. But yeah, that's super cool to have at least that signature.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, we have the signature. So
yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. So
what's really neat in this picture, if you look at Skottie's right arm there, it's like a blank canvas.
Yeah.
and it has changed a lot since.
Exactly.
About to say, yeah, we'll see some of that later, maybe. So
yeah,
a little bit of foreshadowing there,
right?
Right. Now from 2025. Boom, this was posted by Stupid Fresh Mess, and this lady has been one of our #1 supporters at Skottie Shop from the start. And I go, oh, that's Maureen. So I got to seeing the pictures before
I was so excited to see that they had posted that. Megan had asked it, and I said, "Oh yeah, of course." That was Friday. That was my first stack of books that I took to him. Of course, they had the the rules for con, and it was a limit of 40 books, but you were more than welcome to get back in line. The first day I took 31, and so it was a mixture of comic books and I took a few other items with me. Like, I only took her base, but my Gert.
Ah, yes.
So, Gert stayed home. But, there we go. There we go.
There we go.
Skottie signed. And so Megan's big question was, well, where are you going to sign it? And immediately he went to the toadstool and signed right on one of the.
And I meant to grab mine down. I think he signed in like the same exact spot for mine as well. Like he picked one of those clear, which makes sense. Like it's a good space.
It's a great space for a signature.
I was curious. So is your statue? Did it ever break, or was yours fine? Wow. So you didn't have any issues with your head at all or anything?
Nope. Oh
yeah, those statues unfortunately have so many issues. Mine I bought at Comic-Con when they released, and even my head like had snapped off, and I had to glue it back on. So
okay,
I'm always curious
that
people
she's
who
going
own
back
that.
over here.
Exactly.
She is not. No. So
that's really cool. That's such a great statue. That's so fun. You were able to bring that and get that sign. It's smart too to bring just the base itself and not the statue.
Well, it's funny because this we talked late last year, early this year on going to Planet, and so I was starting to think about what I was going to take with me and what I wanted to have him sign. We were actually supposed to go to WonderCon in 2020, and Skottie was going to be there, and so I had started the planning process in 2020. And then the world shut down and WonderCon was canceled and all of that kind of stuff. I was so bummed because I was like, oh, I'm so excited we get to see Skottie again. And then, we know what happened. So Gert was actually wrapped up, or the base was wrapped up for a while because she was going to go with me. And then, WonderCon didn't happen. And so I said, okay, well, put her back in the display and just wait until whenever I get to see him again. So, but I was very excited to be able to head to Planet Comic-Con this time. And so the other thing that we did was we had the big purchase. We have, started out as 2 pieces of OA. Original art.
Yeah. Hold up 1 second. We'll wait till we got to build some momentum for those. Those are okay.
So
never
mind.
Those get their own slide.
They get their own slide.
Yeah.
Okay.
So great. Yeah,
those
are. Yeah, we're going to get there because that's.
Never mind. Okay, so yeah. So, but
Seth
again, I was joking around with my friends and things like that. I'm like, I'm gonna fangirl. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We had planned, obviously, like the first thing we were doing is heading to Skottie's booth because I know I see everybody like in the group, and I'm like, I am definitely not the only one here this weekend that's here to see Skottie. So, and I would say there were probably about 25 people, 30 people in front of us. And so again, just chatting it up with everybody, sharing what we're planning and or what we brought and planning to have signed and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, make it up the stairs. And I had already planned, I know where the booth is.
Booth, yep. Had it mapped out.
Okay. Never been, obviously first time to Planet Comic-Con, and but I'm like, okay, this is where we have to go. And oh, that's very possible, Ryan. Yeah, I think you may have been ahead of me, either Friday or Saturday. But
as you're talking, I was going to show some more of the pictures.
Yeah, sure. But and I think we were in line for I guess a little bit about an hour or so. But Megan was coming through back and forth and just making sure people knew about the limits and making sure she reminded people that to take the books out of bags and boards and stuff and have things ready for Skottie to sign when you get up there. So she comes my direction, and I think Scott may have said first. He said, "Are you Megan?" And she said, "Yeah." And so I introduced myself, and I got this big hug, and she was so excited. Like, oh my God, I finally get to see you in person. So I got to see and give hugs to Megan. I got to see John. John scarily remembers my address.
Really?
Don't mess with John.
That is funny. Yeah, just remember, just like the first thing, you're like, "Hi, John." Like, I'm so and so. Like, "Oh, you live in,
Yeah, he could give me my street address.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
It was. I was like, okay,
that's too funny.
So yeah, that was pretty funny. But it took me until Sunday to actually meet John, because he wasn't at
I didn't see in
the
the pictures, any of the pictures that people posted. So I wondered if he was able to make it out there to it.
Yeah,
so
he did. His wife had a booth.
Oh, cool.
So he spent part of the weekend at her booth. So I did get to. Awesome. He was at the booth part of the day on Sunday. So.
Oh gosh, I wish I'd known. I would have tried to post that to the Skottie group, so get more people out there too. But that's really
so.
Cool.
So they did have someone, and I forgot his name now. Oh my gosh, they had somebody else helping. Yeah. And when I introduced myself, when I introduced myself, then I forgot his name and I kept calling him not John.
Oh. I think Steph, he's a really
there we go.
And he has a Whatnot show with Skottie books tonight going on Whatnot as well. So
got it. Okay.
Beckerman jumped in there too, or Becker.
Yeah, thank you, Becker.
Which is funny because I mainly remember him from Ryan, because I've always seen him helping out Ryan and stuff. So when he was helping out Skottie, I was like, oh, you look familiar. So
he's a great guy.
Thank you, Beckerman. Steph, yes, that's right. But yeah, I just kept the rest of the weekend I kept referring to him as not John because I couldn't remember his name.
I'm sure
I was gonna say you're just to go quickly back to Megan. It was the same when meeting Megan. It was just as much of a blast getting to meet Megan, because it was the same thing. I was like, Megan, like I had to reach out. I was like, Tyler, like as soon as you talked, I just knew it was you. And then like it's the big hug and just how wonderful and nice she is. And same with John. John's a little bit more, not closed, but just more chill and reserved, but also still very nice. Yeah. So it's really fun, to get to meet all three of them. Like the fact that like we all get to like kind of know them just as much as Skottie, and they're just as much, a part of him now as he is of them. So
absolutely.
And Maureen, to kind of top on what Tyler said there, the fact that, Tyler posts a lot, a lot of comments. So when we did our groups Ask Skottie Anything that we did like last February, that I got to interview Skottie and Megan. Before the show even started, Tyler was one of the names that popped up when I had to tell him how to say his last name correctly. And I didn't know. I had to ask Tyler how to say his last name. And they're, oh yeah, we see his comments, and same with you, Maureen. The fact that John knew your address just shows you the type of volume that you go through the Skottie shop store. So
yeah,
they really do appreciate fans.
they really do.
Yeah.
It's genuine. It
Yes.
really is. Because it's funny, Megan said she yells across the office or something like that I had an order come through or something like that, and and so it's like, oh, okay, maybe I.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I know. Is
like,
that a
am I
good
on
thing
a
or a
list
bad
now?
thing?
Like, am I not
It's a
allowed,
good thing.
near the store, like within 500 yards? Like,
oh, we have a release again. Okay, well, here I go.
Yep.
I set the alarms for the release days and all that kind of stuff.
It's just something fun about that. I mean, it's obviously it's supporting their business and supporting their art, but there's no group or one person I'm more happy giving my money to than Skottie and his group.
Exactly.
Just because, again, not because I know I'm gonna get that, but just because, like you said, it's I know how fun it is for them and how much they love interacting with the fans and getting to know us, and like you said, learning our address or learning our name or learning who we are and stuff. So no, it's really cool, and then getting to meet them in person like you did at Planet Comic Con only makes that even more worthwhile, because it's like they're almost just as excited to meet you as you are them. You're like, what? Like I'm nobody. I just buy your art. Like you're
I buy the things, right? So it's like, oh yeah, but yep, very, very. I'm sure, Shane. Absolutely.
Exactly. They got like a roll, like a list. Like, did so and so put in their order? Yep. No. Yep. They got it this time. They're good. So
it could be almost the fact that if we don't, that they might send
something wrong.
A search party.
Yep.
Exactly, Calvin.
Shoppers. Yeah. Exactly.
Some wellness checks showing up at our front door.
Absolutely. No, we haven't heard from them.
Yeah, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Me and Tyler used to compare order numbers to see who had the lowest order number.
You're like, did you get it in first or because I don't know why. It was like, it was like a fun game.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. No, that's a lot of fun.
Now tell us a little bit about these pictures here, Maureen. This is the one that, that one. Go on, Fisher Store. I didn't mean to.
No, that's okay. You say at least we're not problem children.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
We hope. Exactly. Hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So, this picture. So we're chatting. Okay, first of all, I got myself in trouble too, a couple times. Got myself in trouble because I wasn't prepared. I knew the rules. Okay. So they're asking about the tongue sticking out picture. So I had my the books, and I had them all out of the bags and boards and everything like that. But then I had like the thought bubble, and I had the Axe Cop and a couple of the other books where I wanted him to sign on the pages inside. I didn't have them open to the pages or marked even. So I got yelled at because I was, I don't know what can I say on here? Can I use profanities? He told me I was fucking everything up.
Yeah.
Not Skottie. Skottie would never say that.
So like, come on. And so then I said we wanted to take a couple of pictures, and so I got the serious one, and then of course he's got to show his colors there.
I do love that. That seems to be a trend with Skottie, where he'll do like the straightforward face, and then if he knows you're cool with doing this, he's like, oh, I want to do it silly. Like I just go straight face for most people, but if you're down with silly, then let's go silly. So
exactly. So there was another one that went along with this where he's kind of looking to the side. I don't know if I sent you that one or if I posted that one, but I got yelled at for that one too, because I posed to take the picture or whatever, and I didn't tell him we were taking a picture.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so he's doing something else. He's looking at his phone or talking to the side. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's it.
I'll blow you up real quick, Dustin, and take it back off.
Oh no. Yeah.
Right, no.
So there we go. Yeah, so he's doing something else, and I forget to tell him that, oh, hey, it's okay if we take a picture right now? So he's doing something else, and here I am smiling. So I got yelled at for, he said, wait, Jim, tell me we're taking a picture?
Hold on a minute there.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But again, it was just kind of talking about the art and the collecting, and just even as he's going through some of the books and even some of the older things, just what was going on at that time, or whether he really liked those the art that he did, or whether he wasn't really fond of it. Or there's one book, I think it's Atlas, if I remember correctly. It was the top of one of the piles that I took. It may have been Saturday's books, but he said, oh, I'm not really sure about this one. Sometimes I hate to say that this is my art or something like that. I forget what he what he said, but the Atlas, on the right page there, or right picture. That one.
Okay.
And I do apologize to anyone. None of those, the Oz's or the Human Torch or anything, they're not in order. I was just laying them out on the floor. So Scott said they might they may say something about that, because I just kind of put them down. But yeah, he was joking around about about the art in the Atlas. So, but
he was just saying it's more so what exactly was he saying about it?
It was just he said if it didn't have his name on it or something like that, he wouldn't even claim it.
Gotcha.
It wasn't one of his favorites.
Gotcha.
So because it's from it's earlier work. So
yeah, early. Yeah.
Not he wasn't.
That's gonna be a giveaway one month that we have. I bought a couple extra whenever I found a site that had them. So yeah, he probably wants it.
Those were fun when I found that one. There's a couple other of the older works, and I was like, oh yeah, and it was funny because I have the trades and things like that for Oz, all the different Marvelous and Ozma, and apparently I didn't have any of the individual issues of Ozma, so I did actually finish the run with 2 different vendors in Kansas City. So that was very exciting.
That's awesome.
So
that's always really nice feeling. Yeah.
Especially, and I'm missing some of the sketchbooks. And again, I've got a few grails. I'm sure a lot of us in the group that don't have, some of the, some of the grails. But even just finding things out in the wild, it's exciting. You know, so.
Yeah, you've got the Skottie to sign the Brett book. Me and Tyler have talked about getting a dual signature of Skottie and Brett on issue 20 of I Hate Fairyland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the bottom left
with my mouse, but you can't see it. But yeah, down there at the bottom left hand corner,
right there.
You got one half of it complete, so it's
that would be a good dual signature. I mean, obviously, but I mean, it would be cool to have both of their signatures on it. So.
Oh yeah.
No, yeah, you had some great stuff. I was really jealous. The Run the Jewels one is one of the ones that I still need. The original, not the one here, but the one I think it was on another slide.
Well, actually, I don't have the original. I don't have the original.
I thought I
version.
saw it in there.
No, I have the
it's the Mexican foil.
I have the Mexican foil version.
Oh, I do see now, and it's in the regular Mexican.
It is,
okay.
Yeah. So I don't actually have the original of the Run the Jewels.
I mean, still good ones to have. The Mexican one was the first one because I was like, I can't afford the regular one. So.
No. So then I found the Mexican, not the Mexican foil, but the Mexican version, and I said, oh, okay, I can afford this one.
Yeah, as long as I own it in some capacity. So
absolutely.
Now, Maureen, so you said you had submitted, was it 5 or 6 books to CGC?
6 of them. I'm sorry.
6. Okay, I thought you said 5 on one day and 1 on the other. Yeah. So, but I didn't know if you wanted to tell which books you submitted or let it be a surprise.
Okay.
Or if you need the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say I should have grabbed my. I know I sent my I had an extra copy of Haunted Mansion. I had him sign.
Right on.
was gonna say, I
The
noticed
Spider
that.
King. I had my Spider King.
Right there.
Oh my goodness gracious.
You win a prize if you could name all 6 books, Maureen.
Oh my
Come
gosh,
on.
I win a prize? Okay, good. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Nope, that one I might have to come back to that one.
Okay, just think about it later.
Completely
Okay.
fair, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah,
I,
no, that's okay. I thought about it earlier today and I was like, oh, I need to find my sheet, the documentation that I sent the stuff to CGC. And I was like, yeah, because then I could talk about which ones. Yes. Maureen spent a lot of money on signatures that weekend.
I think it's $10 for SIGs and $30 if they're graded.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. $10 for signatures, $30 if it was graded. So
I was going to say here, though, we were talking about the Run the Jewels, so you don't have the original. You do have the original in packaging, though. Pimp the Backhand.
I do.
Cards. Yes, that's
mine are
so
actually.
cool.
They are actually still in plastic.
Are they still sealed? That's
and until
awesome.
I had him sign this, the box was actually still sealed.
Oh, really?
So I have seen, because that was one of his questions was, have you actually seen the cards? And I said, oh yeah. Not from my set, but yes, I have
from
seen
online.
Someone had posted the art for some of those cards for sale a year or two ago.
Oh, really?
They did. I think some of those are still. I don't think they sold. Yeah, last I had seen them.
Okay.
And then somebody was kind enough to point that somebody, I don't remember who, but they reprinted the cards. So I bought the reprinted ones. I didn't get the original ones, unfortunately, but I was able to get a reprinting of them and have those at least. And yeah, I did the same thing. I flipped through the art and everything, and I was like, man, this is crazy, to see. Like those are like those, not the Hot Wheels, but like that car series we did. Those especially like that really early, more graffiti stylized art. So
yeah, the Leadfoots.
Yes, Leadfoots. Yes.
I think Josh had some of those to get signed, didn't he?
He did.
If I'm not mistaken. I thought he had posted some pictures of that. Josh Lancaster.
I think he brought one of them with him to have signed. I'm sorry. He brought one to have signed. I don't remember if he actually had it signed. He was going back and forth. Like I said, I don't remember if this was our pre-talk when we were talking. He had a bunch of things with him, but he was going back and forth and whether he was going to have things slabbed and I know that you guys talked. So
yeah, this is a pretty big deal. Will from the group, I know he's a completist for Skottie, and he said that's one thing he's never found is that deck. So that's a pretty big get there, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the.
I was going to say you let in. Yeah, speaking of big gets.
This was actually the second. This was actually the second day.
Yeah. Well, I love the comment because this is another post that Stupid Fresh Mess had shared that you had put, and we've all been there, laying there in bed, sleeping, thinking, "Why didn't I grab that? Why didn't I just grab that one more piece?"
Yep.
And you were lucky enough to be able to.
Yep. So, Friday, they had brought two of the Itoya folders of original art, and so while we were waiting in line, as we got around to the actual tables, asked Megan if we could take a look at them as we were just waiting in line. And so I picked out I picked out two pieces, one of them being the Spider King.
Right.
And then the other one being the original art to the Valors. And I happen to have all three copies of my Valors with me. So I did have him sign all three of those.
Very nice. I said it's good timing with those two final ones getting out. So
yes, I did actually. I actually did have help getting the black and white because I was able to get the virgin cover, but I missed the black and white. It sold out, and so someone in the group helped me out with getting the black and white. So then I had that to take as well. Had no idea. I didn't even know the art was there.
Yeah.
So I said, yes, I would like that one.
I really popped out to you, huh?
Really like that cover.
Oh yeah, it's really great.
It's
And
a fun one, yeah.
I've always liked that Spider King cover.
Go back to that one.
Yeah. And so that was actually on the original list to have slabbed. So I did send the book to CGC to have that one.
Oh, cool.
And like we talked
about, yeah, that's great. Just worked out perfect.
And then when we had taken a look at the book, and Scott said, I didn't remember. Was it you didn't remember he did the Savage Dragon cover, or? Yeah, so he had forgotten about it, and so that's when we got back to the room on Friday night, and he's like, "Man, I should have picked up the original art for that one too." So thought about it, and when we went back on Saturday for the next round of signatures and things like that, it was still there. So
but not for long.
Not for long. Not once we got there.
That's great, and let's give a shout out to Scott too. I mean, how great is that to have a supportive, husband? Oh,
absolutely.
That's just incredible.
We joke around that we are each other's enablers. We do this problem, yeah, exactly.
A double-edged sword, yeah.
Exactly, because he'll be like, "Well, what do you think of this?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I love it. I think we should get it." So we do the
totally, yeah.
So
Tyler, do you have that problem with your wife, Tyler, or are you?
No, it's more so because I want a lot. So I use the word want. It's like, well, you want everything. And it's like, yeah, you're not entirely wrong. And my floor is covered. There's no more wall space. Being in an apartment, it's a little bit. If we were in a house, I don't think it'd be as much of a problem. But with this little space we have, it's kind of hard to keep getting stuff when a lot of it's in storage. So
it doesn't make a difference.
Still, knows that I love, especially with the original art. Now that I'm getting into that, it's like, I know how much you love that, and I'd rather you spend on one big item that you really love rather than get a whole bunch of tiny items that just kind of take up space. So
yeah, when you're 3 or 4 collectibles away from getting your own TLC show and having them come in, you better
we have that discussion often. It doesn't make a difference, Tyler, if you have an apartment or a house. Yeah, because we have a house.
I was gonna say, it just means a bigger space to fill even more. So yeah,
Shane agrees.
I think George Carlin had a joke about that. About just you get bigger houses, you get bigger stuff, and you just fill that space up.
And I blame my mom. My mom always had that problem, like a bigger space, like you said, bigger area to fill, and then especially if you downsize or whatever have you. So yeah, I'm always, if I see a speck of white, I'm like, but that could be filled. You could put something there. Like so
I could find something for that.
I can swap them out. It's no problem.
Right?
Well, this is awesome. Do you want to show these in person? You said you had these there. I don't want to. The pictures probably don't do justice even.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I tried. Oh, and I have one other too. So.
Oh, cool.
Okay, now I was working on my lighting, so I do have a little bit of glare there, but because I have them in some Mylar. Okay, there's my spider. Okay.
Very cool.
Okay.
I just noticed I love the free comic book day shirt too. That's good.
Yes, I got my.
Oh, nice. The Skottie.
There we go. I had to wear my Skottie shirt. We were talking about Hot Topic earlier. Hot Topic is a great place for the Marvel shirts.
It's true, yeah.
There's my Valors.
Oh, that's so cool. I just love, that rounded, brick that he's on, the shadow creatures.
Woohoo. There is.
Oh, so fun. I love his stubby fingers there.
Exactly.
There's just something about his thick sausage fingers.
All right. And I'm going to show one more only because this one was a Christmas present a couple years ago. So this was my.
Oh, this is your first piece then.
That was my first.
That's so cool. That's always when you definitely remember is that first original piece. Yeah.
So I mean, I have the sketch from the con, but this was my first piece of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's something about like that 11 by 17, that bigger scale art.
Absolutely.
The sketches are really cool, but like knowing that was used to print the comic that you collected and is just something special. So
yeah.
those are really awesome pieces. And I'm curious, are those what do you use for Mylar for your original art?
Who, me?
Oh,
sorry, I was watching once again. I transferred over to my phone so I could hear Maureen talking while she was on the full screen. So I was about 2 seconds behind of what you're saying. So
No problem.
you're talking about to display or to store?
Store.
The store. I use an Itoya binder for all of my Skottie art is in like cheap Walmart frames on the wall. It's in a basement with no windows, and the lights are off 99% of the time. So
yeah.
So
I was curious, Maureen, because what they were in. I was curious what those are. That you're using those. Okay, those are the
4 mil Mylar.
They're the 4 mil Mylar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just something because it's something I've gotten into because I still have yet to frame my pieces. So
yeah,
I dived really heavily into like what everyone uses everyone's obviously got their opinions on what you should do and everything. So I was just curious what other people do with theirs. So
is this?
We know the top loaders that they saw that like we went and I forget who.
Yeah.
That's what I have the rest of my art in. That's not in the binders.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I do have one more piece.
Yeah.
I got one more. So this, and I actually had to, I emailed Megan. We were at an art show.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I love that.
Pop-up art show. So apparently this was a daily sketch.
Mm-hmm.
At one point.
That's really cool. I've never seen this one, I don't think.
And it is from 2014.
Oh, I love that. I love when he does animals. Or random ones where I'll see of like, bipedal, talking animals. It's just something about that his style just fits so well with.
It's
really cool.
The background's incredible too.
Yeah.
We were at this art show, and I emailed Megan while we were there because I said, I think this is his. I like, can you help me? And she said, Skottie says it was a daily sketch, and I was like, oh my gosh,
that's super cool.
Awesome.
It's really nice to be able to do that, to be able to reach out to them and get that confirmation, especially when you're paying, good money for a piece. You want to make sure, that you've got something authentic. So.
Okay. And I think that, Dustin, you were just saying something about the,
Yes.
That's what I put the 11 by 17s and, I've got an 11 by 14 with stuff in it. I think that might be it. Oh, I won the internet today.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
Yay!
Your medal will be being mailed to you immediately.
Thank you very much. Thank you. But in the pictures, going back to like the pictures at the table and stuff like that, I chose a Skottie animated shirt to wear each day. And so like and he's like, I've never seen these. And I said, oh, like Hot Topic and Box Lunch. That's where I check now. I can't remember. I think
Target. I think Target had some too.
Yeah, Target had some too.
Target has had some in the past.
So
because they're not labeled, it's just kind of like animated or like they don't, they don't include his name, unfortunately, which would make it so much easier for us to find them. But it's just kind of animated Marvel characters generally.
Either animated Marvel or Marvel Chibi.
Chibi. I like using the Chibi, even though
Box Lunch we'll put it under Chibi as well. So sorry, I keep sliding off my chair.
No, not at all.
I'm so excited. I keep sliding off my chair.
Oh, you're absolutely fine. No, you're doing a great job. Great job.
Well, I am curious. Did looking at the picture. Sorry, seeing Kyle Strom's booth. Did you see him there as well? Or did you have a chance to talk with him as well? Or
yes, he was right next. He was right next. Actually, Scott, will you grab the sketchbook? I will show you this too.
Scott.
Actually, he said he was going to be my facilitator while I was on this. He was going to help grab things if I needed. But when I told him, I said I'm going to be a celebrity.
It should be pampered as such.
How can I help? I did. I got to talk to him for a little while. I got a sketchbook.
Oh, very
from him,
cool.
And
look up there real quick.
So the sketchbook was Blue Line. And
I love that.
So he did all of the inking on there while I was talking. While we were just chit-chatting, and very cool. Actually got to see a little bit of the next twig.
Oh, very
volume.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. So we were talking about.
That's the rest of the show now. So tell us.
Yeah, they were kind to
you.
Brett and Kyle. We couldn't get Brett to talk about his new comic, so it's always fun. Yeah, we can actually get that information.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was going to ask you, Maureen. I was actually going to ask you, was he actively working on Twig Volume 2 when you saw him, and then you said that. So that's.
Yep, he is. He's actively
I figured
working.
He'd be at the booth like drawing. So trying to.
So we chatted about Twig for a little bit, and because I told him I was going through his books, and I said, well, I really don't need anything in here because when he released all of the issues of Twig, I bought them off his site, which meant I got everybody's cover.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. The when he did the big bags. Yeah. I only grabbed I've grabbed the first one off of his site, and then I just couldn't personally keep. I was like, all right, I'll get the first one at least, and go from there. So,
nope, I did all of them.
That's where I got mine at too, Maureen. I pulled them off his site. And,
I was
so
excited. Every time he put up the new issue, I went because Peach.
Momoko,
I got cover. Yep, I just want to make sure they were all great covers. So
they were really good.
Okay, then I'm just going to throw them all in. So
I do not blame you one bit.
Nope. So yes, really... but Volume 2 is in the works. So very excited. So
yes, Kyle hasn't, and I've promoted it on here before, but Kyle, when he gets back to doing them, I'm sure after Twig's in the books, he has a great Whatnot show. I picked up a couple of sketches off of one was a Twig and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and then one's just a Twig that I got graded, but he's such a great storyteller, and he can draw, and it's just so natural. His Whatnot streams are a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, I'm gonna have to add him to my list of Whatnot.
Yes, add him. If nothing more, I would just tune in sometimes just to hear the stories.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I'm not buying a sketch tonight, but I might buy a book or something. But it's fun to hear.
It was great just sitting and chatting with him.
Well, it's cool too when they're next to each other. I know, like, it was the same with Brett when he was at MegaCon. Like, they just get paired, with their friends, and that's just as much, for them, the cons with it. It's all about, just like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, we can, just talk and chat it up and sit next to each other, talk to fans, and then the conversations you'll have between the two of them, or with each other. So exactly, the devil.
It is. It very much is. It very much is. It's fun. Oh, I remembered one of the other ones I had slabbed. My Vigilantes, the Savage Street Vigilantes.
Nice.
Because I had Jim was down the row from Skottie and Kyle.
Oh yes.
So I had Jim sign it as well.
Okay, cool. Did you? Cool. Now, was Jim's signature in the back of the book as well, or did you have him double? Did he sign the front of it with Skottie's?
He signed at the front of it with Skottie's. So, speaking of Whatnot shows, this was my first. Oh, let me see if that was my first purchase off of Skottie's Whatnot show. I got the signed. Woo! There we go.
Very cool. It's such a great big pin.
A huge pin, right? wear that.
That's one thing I haven't gotten into yet, and that's just because like I don't want to even try to dive in because I know there's so many, but there's so many great pins that they have of his. So
Yeah, I don't have them all. I have a very good number of them, but I think the pins are cool.
there's just something about the metal, and they work so well with characters like Skottie as the baby figures, where it's just like they pop and like getting to physically kind of turn them and stuff. Yeah.
So I guess I have to say that I'm an equal opportunity Skottie collector because the statues, the pins, the art, the comic books.
That's the issue. Is it's all so good. It's just you can't help but go for all of it. Oh, might have lost Dustin there. I know. I think he was having some internet troubles there. So
sounded like we were having a little bit of issue.
Yeah, we've had the lag before, but normally he'll pop out of it. So hopefully he'll just pop back in here quick.
Yeah. So, but this has been cool.
No, it's always super fun getting to go. Especially I love when people take photos and post them, and then now especially getting to have people on and getting the story behind the photos.
Right.
Again, there's so much you may not necessarily know about. Like your joke of Skottie giving you crap, for not having certain stuff ready, or the side photo or whatever have you. Just fun stuff like that makes those con experiences so memorable and so fun. And if we're not able to go, then being able to, like I said, live vicariously always makes it super fun. So
absolutely. Yeah. And that's something that, he gave me crap for, but that was, I don't know, that was fun. Just
it is. He's so natural at like just coming off as like, if somebody were to like witness you with him and be like, oh, you guys are really good friends. It's like, oh no, this is the first time meeting him. I've never met this man before in my life. And it's like, really? Right. Like he's so chill and down to earth and talkative and just, so easygoing. That's the thing, is so approachable, which makes it really great to meet him. He's definitely one of those ones where it's like, don't ever meet your heroes in real life, but it's like, I would totally suggest meeting Skottie because you're not going to get anything but, the best interaction probable. So
absolutely.
Dustin, good to have you back there.
Yes. Welcome back.
It's storming here. I don't know if y'all heard of the storm. So I lost my internet connection for a second. I had to connect to another router. So hopefully we can make it the rest of the show. So okay.
Yeah. I mean, man, I didn't mention it before. We did. We freaked out for a minute. We weren't sure what to do.
All right.
No, just, I mean, man, they were busy like the whole time. And I even asked him, I think it was Saturday when I got my turn at the table. And I said, do you go back to the hotel room and just ice your hand? Because I mean, it was just signature after signature. And I mean, I know he does it in the studio, and we purchase the signed books and he signs things for CGC and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, man, it was just like 3 days of just signing.
He's one of the fastest, and also like you said, like he'll just do so many. And he's interesting though too, because I know he's talked about it before, where like it's not necessarily his hand, it's like his elbow and his shoulder, because he's one of those ones like
and
he's so good about not, because so many will just do, and I would do the same thing probably too, just like doing this with your wrist, and you're like, man, my wrist is killing me, but his is like he's like, no, I locked the wrist, and it's just like the shoulder movement stuff, but still, like you said, at the end of the day, it's still sore and painful. So
I think we may have asked him on Saturday. I can't remember. Sunday we just kind of stopped by and just said hello as we were going back and forth to other areas of the con, but it just checking in to see that they're okay. But I think on Saturday I may have asked him for his comic. That's awesome. Like if I think I asked Megan if she had any idea on how many signatures he had already done in the first 2 days, but she said a lot. I know that much.
I would say, even doing the non-con and cutting down, I'm sure, with the limit of 40, being able to get back in line, there's still going to be quite and the amount of people that get in that line. So
I mean, that non-con was really really a cool thing for them to do for
I was curious.
Absolutely.
Yeah, did you think like seeing that in person? 'Cause I think this was the first con after that non-con he's done where, and that was obviously their hope that they said, that it hopefully will give people more time to get that interaction and less
Mhm.
about the signatures and stuff. So I was curious if you thought that, just from
Yeah.
what you saw.
I would definitely say that has to, or that had to have some impact on it. So, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
think
super
too, the
cool.
fact that Skottie has get so many different books, and you've got fans like
Yeah.
Maureen, and I know myself personally and Tyler that will book trips around cons where Skottie's at. So you're wanting to get as much stuff done as possible. That probably even with the non-con, there's still going to be a line of people with,
Oh,
30 to 40 books
absolutely.
to get. Yeah. So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
non-con hopefully helps the dealers at least get their books in a more controlled setting.
And it's so cool to see because I mean he gets excited. Like
Yeah.
he may see a book he hasn't seen in a while. And then he just starts talking about like when he drew the art for a particular book or, the storyline for a book or something like that, whatever the situation has to be, he gets so excited. It's like a little kid. Like
Well,
Yeah.
when we did our March Madness show where we revealed the brackets,
Mhm.
Skottie was he was in the comments on that show, and he was commenting on several of the books that were picked, just because they were just to see what different people like and to
Yeah.
bring covers up that may not like the Mind the Gap cover is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
So it was fun to see him get excited too, with everybody else getting excited about the choices.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're
That was
another,
cool.
you're another one we got to try to get you in the bracket next year. We're gonna.
Yes. Yeah.
I hate leaving people out, and Maureen, I apologize for leaving you out. So next
Oh
year,
my
we're gonna
gosh,
try.
please.
Right.
No. But yeah, just keep me in mind for next year.
You're right. It's so much fun to see everybody participate in that. But
Absolutely.
and we hope me and Tyler will drone on for hours. But if you have to jump off at any time, you
Oh,
can.
no.
But you're more than welcome to stay the full time with us. Whatever works best for you. We just want to we don't want to inconvenience you at all. We appreciate you coming on.
This is awesome. No work tonight. I told them I was being a
All right,
celebrity, so
Very nice.
we'll stay on the full show.
My
Take
fan-
advantage of this.
Exactly. Yeah.
It sounds great.
Right. So, are you a big I Hate Fairyland fan? That's probably a silly question to ask. I don't know.
Absolutely. Story and art and everything. I'm loving to see some of the new stuff, the different art and the Gert in the different lights.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
say
It's a lot
Different
of fun.
takes. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's
The
take on Gert.
comments- Oh, Daniel has volunteered his tribute to donate his spot in the bracket. Daniel won last year, so
That's fair,
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
But I'll try to figure a way. We may have more play-in spots, or maybe make it a field of
Nice.
That could be,
32.
and that could be a good one. If you've won, then not only does your comic, but maybe you get retired at least for a year or two.
Oh, there
and then
you
can
go.
kind of come
This
back.
is-
So
This is what you're competing for in the bracket
Nice.
challenge. Yeah, so
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm in.
$10 trophy. So, but Skottie's comment here in the middle. I'm assuming Skottie's the one that wrote this. It sounds like
I'd
Skottie's
have to
voice.
imagine, yeah. And it's hard to tell. It did that weird thing again where it changed the color. This was a black outline, making it far easier to see. It's white here for some reason.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
But this is
Oh.
from issue 41, or as they say, the 41st issue. And I loved it, just reading that. Yes, number 21 is now number 41 because the relaunch sold more with the new number one. But now I want to flex that there's 40 issues with legacy numbering. Deal with it. That's such a Skottie thing to do, and I love it. Again, just straight up, like, hey, yeah, I did. I went back and did a number one again to help boost sales. It had been a few years since volume one, and now he's like, hey, and now we're coming up on 50. That's a big deal for me. It's one of my longest running books. I want people to know that, and I'm like, you know what, you do you. Again, Skottie, as most of the people who work with him point out, like he's got such a great eye for business and this kind of stuff, the marketing and sales and representing yourself. So, as we've seen, I was going to say, as we've seen before with Strange Academy. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it was maybe at the panel in 2022 at Heroes when they started discussing that it would start again with a 1 through 6 for the finals arc. And Marvel loves to do new number ones. Just number ones sell better than anything else.
Absolutely.
So me and Tyler had kind of talked about this a little bit, and Maureen, see if you agree. I mean, I could see them wanting to be number one for volume 2, just with Brett coming on as artist. It's going to be something different, even though Skottie's voice and Skottie's writing.
And again, just that year, the years in between as well, along with the new artists. So, and
think about how many different store variants there was for volume 2.
Oh, absolutely.
I hate Fairyland, and same thing for Twig. When number 1 came out, there was quite a few store variants. I mean, not all of them have it. Ain't No Grave didn't have as many, but it's a great way to get other stores to carry your book.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I put the pause to read that comment.
Like you said, Marvel likes doing that. I mean, that's
and it works. It works because I buy a lot of number ones and never buy number 2.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and it's it's cool, and like you said, a 50 is not just as big, but it's pretty big. Along with the number 1, and so the fact that is as it says, the lead up to the big 5-0, and I also like to hear the good old fashioned dungeon pub crawl, which is great. And you had kind of brought it up, Dustin, curiously, because we haven't heard how long Derek's going to be on. Will it be similar to Brett? Will he get 20 issues? If not, will he just be leading up to the big 5-0? We know Skottie had plans to bring on a few different new artists, but as long as Derek is on, I'm super pumped and excited. As most people who watch the show know, I love Derek's work. So the fact that he was coming on to I Hate Fairyland, it was like super awesome to me. So I can't wait to see what they come up with. These covers already are super great. Getting to see these two. So yeah, I can't wait to pick this up. And I think that little blurb is super fitting for Skottie and I Hate Fairyland. So.
And Maureen, if you saw the Ask Me Anything that Skottie had, they'd hinted at more Gert statues coming out. And that's such a great prospect, for us to have those on the horizon.
Yes. Yeah, we need Larry. We need some other characters.
Absolutely.
We need some more Gerts. And I'd love to see. Honestly, I think it'd be really cool if they did a similar vein like the comic, where we get a Brett Bean style one, a Derek Loffman style one. Like get us the different Gerts, because there's already different Gerts in the comic.
Right.
So getting us those different styles would be such a cool way to bring that to the statues as well. So yeah, Duncan. Yeah, we need Duncan.
Definitely
Absolutely.
Duncan.
Child Duncan and adult Duncan, because I think they're both great. So, and Gertzilla. I need a Gertzilla one.
that's true. Now, do you think that because most of the covers are like bloody and non-bloody? Do we see a non-bloody and a bloody Gert have like two different versions of them and have one be more?
Honestly, that would be really cool. Yeah.
General Giant, come on, do your thing.
I would love that.
No, exactly. Speaking of Gert, I think it was Saturday. One of the first people, I don't know if she was in line or she stopped by the table, but someone dressed up as Gert, and it was amazing. It was an amazing cosplay. So I was like, that's awesome. Man.
I think I saw it on Stupid Fresh Messes Instagram. If it's the one,
I think they shared it on their story.
That's really good.
It was so good. I love when people.
I really need to do one of these. I just need to do Larry, because that's what I really want to see as a Larry. So I really want to just dress as Larry one year for him. So.
I really thought Tyler was going to say, I really need to dress as Gert for Heroes, but I was hoping that's
I would 100% would dress as Gert as well.
I will do that. I would help with that.
I would be the prettiest Gert of all the Gerts.
You would be the prettiest Gert, Tyler.
So. You would be.
That's true. Yeah, a bloody. Yeah, I don't know if we've really seen that as much yet. Just a blood-drenched Gert. Yeah, that totally needs to be a variant we see. So
I didn't realize that, Ryan. Thank you.
Saga, I don't know if you read Saga at all, but they have the Lion Cat on Saga, and Skybound, whenever they did their statues, they did something similar where there was like 5 of them. They had like the pink one, the blue one, the gold one, the bloody one, and then there was a black and white one. So I could see and I'm sure that all three of us would buy as many Gerts as they put out. So there's 3 instant sales.
There we go, 3 right there. I'm sure we've got other people in the
If
chat
you're
here.
listening, Skottie, Megan, that's 3 sales already. You
Yeah.
know, let's just go ahead and put it into print.
Oh,
We'll back it. So
my card just got charged for them, so we're good. So we're
Okay, good. All right.
I just got an email notification. They've heard.
Yeah,
they're on their way. Yeah.
It's on file, ready to go. So,
Kevin's in.
Goodness.
what we got next here? Oh, now this is some of the fun that you'll be joining in, and hopefully you're being able to vote on all these, Maureen. Scott,
in my
jump in
votes.
and vote. All right, so John is the first matchup in the final 4, and he defeated the and I love this cover so much, the 1-in-75 ratio. I mean, that is. I really thought that one had legs, but John picked a juggernaut. He picked one that's
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, that
my
85th
head.
anniversary, that wraparound cover, that's just oof.
It's like there's a good amount of characters in the Avengers, but yeah, having all those Marvel characters
It takes
represented
so long.
in such a way, yeah. So
I made sure and I let John know it takes so long to type that description out. Every time I have to do a poll for the Marvel 85th anniversary wraparound cover. You think I would have copied and pasted by now, but nope.
Yeah,
I'm typing it out every time.
Yep, every single time, yep.
And Dre took down Transformers. This shocked me. Transformers was the runner-up last year. Did not see this one coming. But
Man, I thought Transformers would have had that one.
I know, yeah. Honestly, the Spider-Verse has done not to say, to dismiss it or say it doesn't deserve it. It's doing better than I thought it would. I love that cover, and it's cool to know that so many in the group love it as well. So,
and Megan, sorry, Tyler, condolences. Moment of silence.
I knew it was coming. So we messaged. I was like, Megan, I've got no chance. You're winning this. And I'm totally fine with it. I love that Iron Man cover. So it was tough. Those are both great covers.
I was gonna say the Spider-Punk cover is awesome.
If somebody had commented, if I had chosen pink, they would have voted for it. And it was a difficult choice for me when I was choosing, because I was like, man, I really want to choose the pink one.
Yep.
There's just something about that, the grunge of the original one. So yeah. I mean, just so many great covers, to choose from this past year.
Yeah, this one was like Sophie's choice. It was so hard. I haven't voted in any of them yet. I'm trying to, as the administrator, I'm trying to stay away from voting. But I don't know which one I would have voted. I probably would have just abstained.
And obviously, I'll be transparent. I voted for Iron Man. So, it wasn't like I was picking my own. I was like, hey, I love that Iron Man. So I was like, that would have been my choice of cover if Megan hadn't chosen it first, like she's done twice now. So, but hey, it's great minds think alike. So
that's right. So last but not least, this is the one that finished up last night. Ray took out Daniel, the same Daniel that was kind enough to volunteer a spot for Maureen. Daniel won last year with the Avengers versus X-Men Midtown wraparound cover, another wraparound cover. So it got retired. It's no longer eligible for this thing because, like the Stan Lee cover, it was just blowing every bracket out, every poll out. I couldn't. So, but the Turtles is another one that's going to be a tough out. The Turtles is going to be a really tough one to get out because.
Yeah. And that was one, like you said, commented that Skottie commenting, they was surprised that it took so long to get that cover chosen. And it is. I mean, it was, when that came out, that was a big one. So, I mean, it's only the second one he's done. And however many years later it was, 10, 15 plus years later. Right. So.
Yeah. I mean, he picked the Something Is Killing the Children cover. And later on, even after he picked, he's like, "Oh man, I should have picked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." So and if he would have picked it, we would have had John, Megan, and
I know. Scottie. I was just gonna say that would have been absolutely hilarious. It's like, no bias here at all, guys.
No,
we see
not at
how
all.
it is. Yeah.
Skottie, we did this for 5 years, and Skottie has been in it the last 2 years that we did the match, and he's got beaten in both first rounds. So even though Skottie's Our fans are tough. His fans are tough. They're not going to lay down and let somebody else.
They don't
win.
see that name. Yeah, they're like, okay, that's fine.
We like this cover better. So
right.
But
it's up to Dre and Ray now.
Yeah, and look, the cool thing about this is all 4 books that are in the Final 4 are from 2024 covers.
Yeah,
like this is the equivalent of having all number 1 seeds in the Final 4, like the college basketball has now. So, Maureen, just you can do your pick. Who do you think's gonna be in the championship? We'll let you do your. This is our analyst part of the show.
Ooh, I think it's going to be the 85th anniversary.
Okay.
And goodness gracious, I think the Turtles.
The Turtles. Oh,
Yeah.
so okay. So who's going to bring it home? Who's going to be the champion between the Turtles?
No, okay, that one's tough. I think the 85th. I think the anniversary cover.
John Young taking home the championship.
Yep. I think the anniversary cover.
All right, Tyler, what's your predictions on this? Because next week
mine's pretty close. Mine is 85th and Iron Man.
Okay.
And then I do almost kind of see the 85th taking the championship still, taking it all. So I'm similar. It just won't be down to the Turtles. It'll be the Iron Man, and then I think 85th will. It's just so tough when you got so many characters there. It's just it's almost kind of like the Avengers or X-Men, where it's like, well, clearly you've got a lead, a step up here with all these extra characters. So
27
so
characters.
again, if it were me, that Iron Man would have won, would have been done. Megan, gets the trophy, and we're calling it there.
Well, I hate to tell you all, but 27 characters are going to be beat by 4. The Turtles are going to win. It's gonna.
Well, there you go. We still got some faith in the Turtles there.
There we go.
Faith in Turtles. What I'm really scared about is this trophy so cheap that when I mail it, the goat's going to break off of it. So whoever wins, I hope has a good thing of super glue so they can fix it. But
I was gonna say, I see them taping it more. Like they're just gonna tape the whole thing, together. Yeah.
I was gonna say Gorilla Glue, but tape, absolutely. There you go.
Bubble gum, whatever, MacGyver it back.
Exactly.
We're happy. All right, well, Maureen, you showed us all kinds of good stuff in your collection this week. But Tyler, you got anything new this week?
I couldn't remember. Did I show off the amazing the death of Spider-Man, or maybe I think I just called it out?
We'll go ahead. I don't have anything to show, so we'll.
There we go.
Try to kick me off again.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, he went big. We're okay.
Yep, he went big. We're good.
No, I mean just the ones that most everyone picked up. So I think I did show these off now that I'm thinking about it. But Godzilla vs. Fantastic Four, which was fantastic, pun intended. And then again, I wasn't going to pick up the variant for any of the other Spider-Man covers, but I couldn't help it with this final one. It's just such a great cover. And again, just helps me with my tattoo idea for Skottie's tattoo that I'll eventually get. The sleeve. So I love these. And then it's just an honorary mention. It's not Skottie related, but I still couldn't help but just show it off a little bit. But the Brett Bean Iron Man sketch cover that I picked up, I couldn't pass it up. I love Iron Man. I love the fact that he did him doing the piece, world piece like in the original movie. And I was happy that the board he did it on was sizable enough to fit in the back of this. So you can see the sketches there. He almost did the front on armor look, which would be really cool to see him take on that as well. But he went up with that final one down there with the lid open. So again, I love these plastic covers. These things are great for these sketch covers, and I'm glad to add another Brett Bean in the collection. So. I think myself small.
There you
go. Okay,
Dustin's waiting. Yeah.
Do you think Brett did the peace sign to as kind of a homage to our show ending?
It could be that. It would be funny, that or the movie. It's like, what I really love ever since that show. I just love peace signs. So.
Well, I just noticed, Maureen, as you kind of lean forward, that we're all matching tonight.
We're all matching.
Nice.
We all put our hats on.
1 hour and 14 minutes later, Dustin catches on that Maureen's got.
Well, it was funny. I had mine on at the show, and I walked up to ask Megan a question, and somebody, moved over, and they're like, "Oh, do you need to get back there?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I'm in line to." Oh no,
I'm just a fan. Yeah,
I'm just a fan. I'm just a fan. So,
but if you need me to come back and help, I'll be more than glad.
I mean, I'll go back and help them. Did you guys pick up anything this morning?
Did not.
Yes,
Did
yeah, I
not.
was say, yeah,
But
we can. We've got it coming up, but yeah,
Oh, do
I
we?
did,
Oh, never mind.
but no, but it's good foreshadowing.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
we.
Speaking, I'm sorry. Look at me. I that's
Oh,
twice now. I've tried to jump
no,
ahead.
we just like to build it up with the mystery, but no, you're totally fine. It's like you said, it's I always kind of forget how many slides we have, or where we're at in the presentation, like Dustin's.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shock. It's a shock every new one that comes up. It's like seeing them for the first time every time. So don't worry about it.
That's funny.
Yeah, nothing this week. We'll buzz through
Yeah,
those.
no new releases, no pre-orders, but
We'll come back. We'll come back to that. We'll come back. To
okay,
that
we can go. But yeah, to this morning's drop, as Maureen said, yes, the second personal collection drop that we had. So
yes.
Now, did you pick up any of them, Maureen?
I did. I picked up the Vision, the second one. I got the 8.
Okay, there were 2 of that one.
There were 2 of them. There was the 9.4 that's in the picture, and then there was an 8.
Yeah, it was tough to. I didn't catch on at first. It took me a second to see the ones where I was like, "Why is there multiple?" And I was like, okay, there's multiple grades. I was like, got it. Okay, I see now. So
it must have taken a second to load because the Donald Duck as Wolverine. It only showed as a 9.8 first, and then when I refreshed, it had both options there. So that's the one I was considering getting, and it sold really quickly. But the Vision one, I believe the Vision one is one that was in like the videos where they did like, or the pictures from the storage, or like I think it might have even been the first.
Where he's tossing them.
No,
the storage. No. Oh, when he's pulling them out. You're right.
Yeah, this was not when he's tossing them. Yeah, but that was a real. I've always loved that one. That's the little statue that goes along with it too.
I was gonna say, I was just looking up at the statue of it. Yeah, I love that statue. Just his face is so adorable. And there's something about that one. The fact there's a border, it just adds a little bit more rather than just having the full blank space. No, that was a good one. That's a great one to pick up. Yeah.
It's funny that we were talking about the original the 11x17s that I got in 2017, and 2 of the Venom in the second row there, and the Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, or 2 of the
original art, the original 11x17 prints that I got. So
there's something I love that Spider-Gwen one there.
I thought it was in here. Oh yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Tyler, what'd you get?
I did. Yeah, I got one. I picked up Iron Man. I couldn't pass up Iron Man.
Oh, did you? Nice.
It was like as soon as because they added it. So that was the thing, is they first showed this bunch on the left, and I was like, all right, there's some solid ones, but nothing I'm gonna grab, especially as I'm again trying to save for Heroes Con if there's any art there that I want to get. And then of course they just had to go and drop this image, and I eyeballed it, and Seth even reached down. Seth was like, "Hey, that Iron Man." I was like, "Yeah, I don't." I was like, "You better not be eyeballing it," because I was like, "I'm eyeballing it." But yeah, it was that Spider-Punk and Iron Man were tempting, and so I definitely wanted to get the Iron Man, get that for the personal collection, because that's the first one from that group that I'll get, which is really cool, and the double signature, and I just love that cover. I love that character, and so I'm really excited to add that one to the collection. So
oh hey,
it's
Josh,
really cool. out of the
I saw Josh make comment.
Well, out of the 16 books that we got shown here, like 3 people from this chat have already, Josh got one, you all got one each, so it's pretty cool. We're monopolizing the Skottie shop, and I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I try. Yeah. Again, I try to be picky and choosy. So I love to get more.
The alarm went off this morning, and I'm like, whoop! And I have to be patient because they release some, and then release some again. Like they're in succession, but it's like, oh wait, they're not all up yet. So it's like
refresh.
Yeah, refresh.
Well, I was gonna say, refreshing. Speaking of, I had to refresh before we did the show, just to make sure, because I had a slide, and that also included the Bully Wars, which was still up at the time. But that one had actually not just sold, but it sold before I'd gone on the show. So I had to update the slides, make sure those were all there. But these are all still available. The Strange Academy, Secret Empire, Shirtless Bear Fighter, Civil War II, and then the Stray Dogs, of course. So, if you're interested in those are still up there as we speak. So,
oh, Shane, that
Sorry, Shane.
hurts. Oh man.
I thought the Stray Dogs would sell by now. I thought it would be sold by now. Even at, I know it's a higher price, but being 9.8 from Skottie's personal collection and having that red signature,
that was a big book. I mean, that's one of their fastest selling books. Yeah. At least I'd be curious if they could confirm that. But that one sold so fast and became such a popular item.
That was one of the other, not the Stray Dogs, the original Shirtless Bear Fighter.
No.
That was one of the other ones I sent to CGC.
Oh, very nice.
We are slowly collecting them all. This is,
I know. You know what?
Yeah,
it's going to take me the entire show.
The memory game.
I may have all 6 of them listed for you.
Oh wow, this is so great. It's like Slumdog Millionaire.
Let's bring up some more pictures and maybe I'll remember.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of slabs, I really, really hope that we get an option to get that cheeseburger slabbed one day from the personal collection. That's what I really want, is just that incredibly squished hamburger between 2 plastic pieces. So
I don't know. How do we think CGC feels about the food products in the?
Well, I love it.
If you pay them, they will take it. Probably.
I was going to say, as long as it's McDonald's, because I love somebody's comment of the amount of preservatives that is in a McDonald's burger and how long it can last. If there's anything going to be preserved, I think that one would be one that defines.
Definitely,
it will outlast the comic. Is the sad thing about it. It will still
the comic will be gone. The burger's still there. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Now, break in case of emergency if you're really hungry.
As we walk down these and appreciate all the different signatures that was here, this was just absolutely incredible. My favorite one, and just because it's just so dorky,
I know,
is the no vowels, and then you go to the next line, it says only vowels. I love that 2-part, that symmetrical humor, that it takes 2 parts to get the full point of it. But then when Skottie did the right-handed signature, and his signature got longer and sloppier with
bigger,
just covering
so
the book.
aggressively,
just slamming the pounds. Like, wow, you're really
absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I like Daniel's idea. There we go. New giveaway contest idea. What did Maureen send to CGC?
There you go. Write that down, Dustin. Yeah. It's one of those things too where April Fool's Day, I'm sure, like most people, it always catches me off guard. I know it's the next day, and then the first thing I see, I completely forget it because I saw this and got so excited seeing the right. I was like, I can get a right-handed signature. I was like, oh wait, no, that's April Fool's Day.
It's April Fool's.
You can't get these, and I was like, man, I really want a right-handed because I just know Skottie would hate giving those. So.
Yeah, it starts off believable though. I could see a regular.
Like the rainbow. I even included the picture of the rainbow one. So
the pricing is where it starts getting out of hand. When you get
to
the $900.
$900 for the. I kind of like the homage ones. Those were pretty cool.
Yeah, the homage was great. I didn't read the imposter one until later, but I really love that one as well. Like we'll get, Megan or FedEx or, whoever's available to sign it, kind of a deal. So
now, Tyler, you remember that show from last February where they told the personal story about the guy, the smoking yoga guy that walked by their
office? The story that they had. There you go. Yeah, get him to Yeah,
that was whenever I read that at the bottom, Maureen, that was one of the questions was I forget the question that was asked, but it was like, do you ever use outside influences in your world to write? And Skottie told this long story about a guy that walks up and down their block that carries, I think he carries like a yoga mat and a pack of cigarettes or something. And they don't, they're I can't remember the full details of it, but it was referenced in the imposter. It was like, if you read the fine print, it's like he will sign it. He will be one of the people that signs it. So that was a great call.
It is, a great callback. Yeah, the people who catch that.
Yeah, who had caught the story. Absolutely.
No, and they had so many too. That's the fun thing is the fact that they prepared so many. It wasn't just like 2 or 3. Like the whole. I had to cut this image in half just to be able to get it on the slide.
Right.
That's how long it was. So.
Right.
Oh, it was hilarious.
And like we talked about the videos too. If you haven't yet. Go read the free Substack. Go watch the videos. They're hilarious. I can't believe they were even able to film them without like just giggling the whole time. I know I would have been like
Yeah.
when Megan asked if he smeared the invisible one in Skottie in the most serious way, like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, just put that to the side. We'll
there's a
redo it.
smudge.
I was like,
there's a smudge.
there's a smudge. I was like, man, I'd be cracking up. Like, how are you guys not
Yeah.
like? You had to have taken multiple takes, kind of a deal. So
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Now I do need to go back and watch the videos because I did not watch them yesterday.
Oh, yes.
No,
Make
so
sure.
that is it's on my list of things to do after the show tonight. So
Oh yeah, I almost want to end the show now just so you can watch them because they're
I
so
know.
good. They are so good, and they're funny. But I did mention to him. I said, you know that going forward, at every con you attend this year, there's going to be people coming up and saying, "Hey, I want one of those homage signatures," or "Hey, I want one of those ghost signatures." Yeah, I was like, you're going to hear this joke so many times.
That's honestly a great point. I definitely think that when I come, I'm going to bring a cheeseburger with me and go, hey, so I was wondering if I could get the cheeseburger signature.
Totally
and just see, just let them have fun. And, and then they can keep the burger. They can have the burger as a gift. So
yeah. A good snack, a good cheeseburger. McDonald's cheeseburger.
My contribution.
They did an outstanding job. They did such a great job on this. This was really cool.
Did, yeah.
That was awesome.
And I forgot to add this or mention this to you, Tyler, but did you all see Gentle Giants? I put it up in the group and somebody else posted in the group.
The invisible.
They had a great
Sue Storm.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Did they have a Sue Storm statue, like the invisible statue? Oh, that's
It was just the base. It was just the base. It was like animated statue. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm really hoping, we get a joke like that for the Invisible Man eventual cover for Universal, hopefully. So
just a blank. Just a blank.
Oh,
Diamond sitting out as well. So yeah, there it is.
That's so good. I like how it's so professionally taken though. Like it's a really nice photo though too. So
yep. With the Marvel up in the corner.
The thing is, it's crazy. People would buy that as long as it comes with a certificate.
Absolutely.
People would grab that. So
yeah.
Animated style. Sorry.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say new Sue Storm Invisible animated style statue variant. So, diamonds.
And Iron Studios had put up something similar later in the day for a Sue Storm, but I was like, Gentle Giant got you to it with the Skottie.
They got you to
it. So,
that's too good.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, this was something else that got added. And Tyler had brought this up. I'm glad you mentioned it. But there's a grab bag now on the man. Johnny on the spot, Tyler there. $45 for a random 3. So this is a really good deal for these.
Because I was going to post the whole collection, but I didn't realize when they made that Instagram post, that was them saying they had sold out, and that was just showing them packing. But then they did introduce the new ones. They must have some individual ones left that they're willing to do, or they're able to do the grab bag with 3. So, and these are now actually, interestingly enough, in the warehouse sale area of the website. Okay. If you go to it, so
it looks like a limit of 2 per household. So. That's a really good deal, especially having the Skottie signature and the certificate with it. So,
yeah, with all of them, yeah.
And speaking of the tattoo from earlier in the show,
I was gonna say, we mentioned, and so there's a new little section I added, but I just added new with Skottie. What's new? What's new with him? So he posted this tattoo that he got from Orville Tattoo of Aesop Rock. As a cassette player, the album that he really loved, Labor Days. And I also included, I love seeing Casey's comment there as well. Lots of memories of young Skottie drawing and listening to this Aesop Rock album. And that's just so cool. And it's so well rendered too. It's so clean. I absolutely love the way they did the clean cassette, but then that's still they nailed that written on label look. Such a great tattoo. And
that is awesome.
And as we said, on the right arm, so it's no longer blank, it's been filled up, but there's a new addition now to it. So I was gonna crack a joke. I wanted to crack a joke what is that? I don't understand what is it? But it's just to see if because I know what cassettes are. I just wanted to see if I could, but I was like, no, I won't mess with them. So
no, you youngin. Now Ryan's going back to the animated statue. Do you all remember the little plastic can't see me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
plastic ones that were in a box.
The mini heroes.
Yeah, the mini heroes. Well, from what I heard, those were like the more cost effective or cost efficient ways of selling Skottie statues, and they didn't sell. They didn't sell. They felt more like a toy, more so than anybody has actually bought the animated statues. Other than, I know you all have some of the statues from Gentle Giant, but they don't feel like a toy. They feel, there's a little bit of weight to them, even though they're on the smaller size. The mini hero, those were plastic, more vinyl than
I will say
resin,
the one thing they did, though, I did really love was that they included, a more involved base. Like Iron Man had his city, Gwen had the actual chimney, that she was on and stuff. So, I was lucky enough. I had 2 originally, and then I bought all 4, which are still in their packaging up displayed on my shelf. So, I was really sad those didn't do as well. I would have really loved to have collected those just as much as the Gentle Giant. So.
And they talk the same thing that me and Maureen mentioned about earlier about your Funkos. They broke the rule where it's a toy. I mean, it's more of a toy than a collectible, and it's in a box. So in order to take it out of the box to get to fully appreciate the diorama, the city display, you had to crack the seal on it. So the good thing about the Gentle Giant statues is you have to open them up to see them, and they're a little different rules. So yeah, man, collectors are
Deadpool,
weird bunch.
Calvin listed them. I couldn't remember all the 4 of them, but it was Deadpool, Iron Man, Gwen, and Thanos. They're in my office.
Oh, you got them? They're cool looking, and I wish they would have did more, but
and I think that's the thing too, is like I followed them. I leading up to it. I was waiting for them to come out, and I didn't find them really at all in stores, and that was my issue, is that I just couldn't find them. Like, I thought they would be more, well stocked. They're cheaper plastic figures, but I had a hard time finding them. And like I said, I only found the 2 out in the wild, and never the other one. So I had to buy them eventually online to be able to get them. So I don't know. It's just always one of those things, to be a fly on the wall and know, what happened during production. But like you said, it makes sense to collectors, older people who collect, and have the money are willing to, shell out for the Gentle Giant statues. And there are something about, like you said, that weight, even though they terrify me, that if they fall, they break, and that's it, So.
I broke Magneto's broke his pinky off a couple of times. I've had to glue Magneto's pinky back on. So because he's got the cave kind of he just went straight forward. And the
some of those are so lean toward the front. So
Maureen, will you be getting Jeff the Shark, or will you be adding that one to your collection?
I like it. I like Jeff the Shark.
That's how Dustin feels.
I like it. Okay, so this is like crazy timing. My local comic store that takes care of me with all of my Skotties has posted, attention Skottie fans, they've got some slabs.
Oh, very nice. Spider-Gwen, Thanos, and Spider-Verse there.
And one of our friends tagged Scott and I in the post. Like, they said, we got signed slabs. DM if interested.
I love when that happens, when friends tag like, oh, I know somebody who would love that, and it's like, oh, thank you, but also
I was like, oh man, I want those. I love that Thanos. Well, obviously I've got the pin with the I love that Thanos cover. Like,
the Thanos one is great, and it's such a fun statue too. It really surprises me, the fact the balloon is just solid, not resin, but solid, not ceramic, like whatever it is that they use, poly resin or whatever. The fact that it's solid, I fully expected it to be lightweight, but no, I'm like, how does this not
got some weight behind
this metal? I'm like, this thing is heavy. Like,
do you have trouble with your balloon turning around, the death face?
It does. I just looked at mine, and sure enough, it's just on the blank side, and I'm like, now I got to go turn that around after the show.
Now I got to go look. Calvin said he had one broke. Doctor Strange was broken in the package. I knocked Deadpool over and broke a finger off of Deadpool.
Oh no!
I'm sorry, Daredevil. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Daredevil's the balancing.
The other red and black one.
Daredevil.
I knocked him over, and I broke one of his fingers off.
I put him in a Funko pop or protector of the heart stacks,
Mm.
just because he and leaned him up against the back for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had like a bolt and a little nut on the base to kind of counterbalance it. And I thought that doesn't look good. So I leaned him back. And so the ones that lean a lot, I try to put them in the hard stack, the pop stacks to keep them from falling over. But
my favorite was one I ordered off of. Oh yeah, the eye issue. Yeah.
The chrome
Thankfully,
issue
mine
was
didn't,
eyes were not painted right. One eye was messed up, so I had to destroy it with the camera. It was rough.
Oh yeah, I forget. Yeah, that yours did have that. Yeah. Yeah, that was the one where I thought I was lucky enough to get the number 1, and then realized that was just a sticker they put on for some reason, and everybody got number 1.
Where it says one. Yeah, they started putting those stickers on where it's like 1 of 300.
That's so confusing. I was like, why is this? It made me think, but no, my favorite was the Doctor Strange. Funny enough, I ordered that one off Amazon, and mine came with a Funko Pop instead. Somebody had taken the statue and returned it, and then I just got a random. Yeah, I got it. It was Poe Dameron. And they cut it. They cut the styrofoam and squished this pop in there, and I was like, "Well." And granted, I bought like I don't think it was open box. I think it was just a regular one. But anyway, I returned and I was like, "Well, I guess I'm not getting that one." So.
Oh man.
I was about to tell that story. I forgot that was you, Tyler.
Oh,
I was going to say I was going to say somebody from the group had that happen. And I completely forgot that was you that it happened.
Yeah, it was unfortunately, and I was like, because it was like a sale, like it was cheap or something. I was like, oh well, I missed out on it. I'll get it another time. But yeah, that was the first time I'd had that. I've heard of it before, and I opened it up, and I was like, wait a minute, this is not a Gentle Giant statue. This is a pop.
Yeah.
Well, they're so light when you pick them up anyway, that you'd almost think there's nothing in there. Like I'm not saying they got weight to them, but the box itself, compared to
when they're in that styrofoam,
statue,
the whole thing itself feels more balanced and lightweight. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh,
brackets.
We're the NCAA tournament bracket that we do.
Oh yeah.
There's about 10 teams I think they can still win because all the number 1 seeds are in. I won't bore you all with the specifics, but I crunched these numbers to see who all can win, and there's just a handful of people that can. But $25 gift card to the Skottie shop to whoever wins. We will know next Wednesday who that winner is. So
nice. Yeah, I didn't do it this year.
Oh, Maureen, that's all right.
I know. I know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, I did it. I did last year, and I had so much fun. I don't know brackets. I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't know brackets. I just chose things. I don't know.
I would have done the same thing.
I like my fantasy football, but college basketball is not my forte. I mean, I'm not very good at it. So,
but it was fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
It was fun.
I'm in second place, I think, in my work one now because I let the computer pick. Like all the favorites got picked. So of course he ended up with all number 1 seed. So I need Duke to beat Auburn to stay at second because so many other people picked that. But anyway, that's all we got. Now, Maureen, will you be making it to Heroes this year or any year?
I will not. Mm-mm.
Oh, now that's when hopefully you can come to that one time for.
Yep, we're trying to. Yes, that would be awesome. We're trying to do because we're in Phoenix. We do Phoenix Fan Fusion, and we do the one down in Tucson, and we decided that we need to venture out. And so Planet was our first venture out of the state. And so maybe Heroes next time.
Let's hope so. That's I usually can only go to one a year because I try to blow my whole budget on that one. And I thought if I'm going to go to a con, I'm going to make sure and make it memorable. So Heroes has kind of been the one I've chosen just because of all the artists that come to it. And Tyler, that's where Tyler and I first met at Heroes last year. So, and hopefully I'll be able to meet some more Skottie fans this year at Heroes. And you and Scott, I want to meet Scott. Scott's awesome. He's been. Hopefully he's already DM'd about those slabs for you, so you can get them. So
there you go. We're already on order. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. He said when we said something about blowing your budget for the con, he said that's what we did. We planned out a budget and we blew through the budget.
Isn't it worth it though? Isn't it fun to have the stuff to show for it?
So worth it.
Yes.
So worth it.
Oh.
Understandable,
Leprechaun.
Yeah, completely. That's another one I'd like to get to one day, just because it sounds like that's. And Skottie, it's the second year in a row going. So
yeah, Megan was saying that one's an awesome show.
Mhm.
We were talking about, somebody mentioned going or wanting to go or something like that, and Megan was like, "Yeah, it's an awesome show."
What did you all see their April Fool's joke? Terrificon.
No.
They announced 3 new guests. They announced William Shakespeare, the ants from Ant-Man, and then they put there's a cancellation. Someone accidentally stepped on the ants. And then the last one they announced was the Cloud Galactus from the Silver Surfer. Fantastic.
No.
I thought that's fun. Whoever did that had a lot of fun with it. So
Not the Cloud.
Yeah.
The Cloud. Yeah.
It is in a casino. Calvin said and Megan said you don't even realize like that it's in a casino. Like, yeah, she just said the atmosphere is awesome, and so
it's so funny though, because people have brought up the casino, and see, for me that's just traumas. I worked in the casino industry for 4 years, so there's no interest for me to play casino
no
games.
thank you.
No, there might even be a game that I worked on there, but no, I'm not. There's no fear of me going on the floor or anything.
Right.
So.
He's like, no.
Like, I know how these are made. There's
No
odds are
casino
against
for me.
you. So
what did you do at the casino? I'm finding this out live with Maureen.
I think I've brought it up before. But I did art for 4 years at a King Show, who made casino games. Yeah, I would do the art for, the slots that would go by, or the special effects or animations, whatever is needed to make it bright and shiny and sparkly and draw everybody in and exciting. So it was interesting. It wasn't at all what I went to college for. Yeah. So that was interesting 4 years. Some of the greatest people though I've worked with, some really great friends I'm still friends with till today. But yeah, definitely, you're gonna lose. That's the point. The winner is far in between. But hey, I get it. It's the appeal, especially if you're spending somebody else's money. That's the best time. That's the only time that I'll have fun playing. We went once as a company, and our boss gave us each like $40 or something, and it was like, hey, if you went over 100, you just got to give me what I gave you back, and that's it. You can keep the rest. I unfortunately didn't win anything, but it wasn't bad then to lose it, because it wasn't that. So yeah, that's one of my my good friends who I worked with there, Britain there. So
Tyler, I completely missed it. I think you have told me that before, but I pictured you as like being a blackjack dealer, and you be the one that says, that's what I was picturing in my head when you said you worked at a casino.
Gotcha. That's fair. I did see at a casino. I don't know if I specified the industry and the machines
I think we
themselves.
talked about that. It came back to me.
Yeah.
But on that note, on my disappointing daydream that I had here of Tyler in a tuxedo taking some poor slob's money. So
exactly.
If anybody wants to join us on here, as Maureen did tonight, and she did such a great job, her and Scott.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
We appreciate that very much, and hopefully that she was felt welcome here, and we'll have her back on again if you'll want to come back on. She just has to buy 3 more cover arts to be able to come back on.
Yep.
I was going to say, when you get those slabs, let us know. So.
Yep. I'll just, when the slabs come in and I can give you all of the names of the slabs I bought. Yes, absolutely.
Great. Tyler, that's a great idea. Seriously, for when they come back, if you want to have a big reveal show. If you want to come on and reveal them, even if it's just coming on for a few seconds, whenever your work schedule permits, you're more than welcome to do that. We
absolutely. I was so excited to do this. Thank you so much. This was so much fun talking to again, this was the first time that I was able to do this work schedule wise, but not the last. So
we're definitely happy to have you. So
absolutely. So yeah, I will have to join and just chat Skottie,
Exactly. Yep.
That's all we do. Sometimes Disney and Lego.
I was going to say, don't mention it. Don't mention it. There they go. They're dropping like flies already.
Maureen hasn't seen the show, so she doesn't know. Disney's a show killer. We talk about Disney and the viewers start dropping, and me and Tyler both
there's one.
Disney. Yep. Right on time. All right, hurry, close the show out, Tyler, before we lose another viewer. It's in a high note here.
But no, yeah, it was a great
Yep.
show.
Yeah.
Always fun getting to talk with other
Yes.
collectors and people who enjoy Skottie's work. And yeah, we'll definitely have to have you on the show in the future. And hopefully
Absolutely.
we'll see everybody here next week
Yeah.
on Wednesday again.
Thanks, Andy.
Don't know necessarily what we're discussing, but we'll figure that out and let everybody know. And
Sounds great.
yeah, everybody stay fresh, live messy, and we'll catch you guys next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Peace.